love cats.
Wow, before you make fun of her, though, you probably love tanks as much as she loves cats. So greetings, gentlemen, o7o7 coming to you with Fatcat Tiger 2 gameplay and tactics. I'm going to start by saying this thing is not a Lux. In fact, the best I can tell you, it can fit not one, not two, but 3 Lux in it. So that begs the question, is the Tiger 2 3 times as good as a Lux? I don't think so. But hey, who am I to question the effectiveness of the King Tiger? So first things first, let me discuss my loadout. I have a lot of AP and a ton of APCR because you see a lot of tier 9 and tier 10 battles in this tank, so you're going to need it. Don't skimp on the ammo. On the equipment, I'm running Rammer, GLD, and V-Stab. Some players like to sub the V-Stab for vents. I really don't think that's a good idea because if you want to stay competitive, you really need that quicker aim that the V-Stab gives you. So I would ditch the vents and go V-Stab. On the upgrades, I'm running the tier 9 gun and turret and the tier 8 engine and track, so fully upgraded. Huge warning here, this tank is terrible stock, so if you use it stock, you are likely to rage quit and sell it quickly. I would highly suggest going ahead and free XPing anything you can, at a minimum the gun. And lastly, on the stats, I'm running about a 74% win rate and around 2100 average damage. That's pretty good for a tier 8. So now onto the tank. I call this thing the Fatcat because it's big and slow, but you can absolutely rule in it if you play it right. I don't recommend this tank at all for newer players just because it's not very friendly and you have to employ certain tactics like side scraping and angling. If you don't do this, you will die all the time, which is probably why of the 16,000 people that own this tank, according to BlitzStars, it's got a painful win rate around 46%, and a very dismal survival rate around 30%. So let me outline what's good and bad here, and then we'll actually get into some gameplay. So the goods, it's got a lot of HP. It's pretty bouncy. It's great for angling and side scraping, as I just mentioned. It's got a strong gun, 1800 DPM, and it's got solid pen for tier 8 and 9. On the bad side, though, it's got poor gun depression, and it's a tall tank, which means you're sitting up high, easy to hit, and you can't angle down very well. It's got really weak sides and back, so even a tier 6 tank circling behind you can just nail you. It's tough to pen tier 10. You're going to have to aim really well to pen a tier 10 tank, even with APCR. And then it's just terrible stock. As I mentioned before, I can't say it enough. So let's go ahead and get into some actual tactics here.
Ich seh 1000 Frauen, doch nicht eine mit Augen wie diese. Die Welt ist hart, aber du gibst mir Vertrauen in die Liebe. Und ich weiß noch genau, ich hab...
Okay, so the first tactic I want to talk to you about is side scraping. It's very important in almost every heavy, and it's critical in the Tiger 2. The gist of side scraping is essentially pulling into some kind of cover and then backing up to take your shot at an angle that helps to get them to bounce off your tank. If you watch in the video here what I'm doing side scraping now. I'm pulling backwards. Look, he bounces. Pow, I hit. He's out of the game. So I set up the scenario in Middleburg. In rolls the red tank, and in rolls our green tank. So you're face to face. This is a bad scenario because basically you guys are just going to pound each other until somebody loses, and whoever does win is going to come out extremely damaged. So this is just head to head. Just is not a good idea. So let's do the minimum what you should be doing, which would be kind of angling at the tank, trying to get a little bit of advantage there. The problem is they can still hit you really easily. Obviously, you can still hit them, but they're nailing you. Again, just a bad situation. So that's why side scraping is so important, because if you're side scraping, what you're doing is you're not trading shots with them, you're hitting them and they're not hitting you, and that's a win situation. So let's look what that looks like. Side scraping means you've come into the corner of this building here, and you've done your angle where you're at a good angle to them so that they're going to have a high chance of bouncing off of your tank. So if they're shooting at you, it ricochets. The problem with side scraping, and this is where I want to warn you, is if you're down past the corner of the building, you're actually leaving a very big spot of your tank open for them to hit. And let me show you what that looks like here in this little overlay. This red area here means that your point is out, perfect and very easy spot for them to pen. You can't be showing your point like that. You need to be showing like this here, where you've got no, on the right side, where you've got no point hanging out there. And they really have nothing to hit except the side of your tank, and that's when you get the bounces. So back to the diagram here. if you're doing it right, you're up about there, right? And when you're there and they're shooting at you, pow, it's bouncing. They can't hit you. And the beauty is you're hitting them back. So they're bouncing their shots, you're making your shots. This is a great scenario, and you're doing your side scraping correctly. Now, when you are side scraping, one last thing I want to mention is you're going in and out like this, right? If you're trying to get your shot, you're coming back, you're getting just to where your gun and your view's around so that you can make your shot, right? And then you're running back into the building, so you're kind of going like in this motion. What you don't want to do, and a lot of people do that I see when I'm playing, is they're kind of angling like this, right? They're kind of going back and forth like that. That doesn't work, because again, if you're angling this way, you're showing your front there again. They can pen that. And if you're angling this way, you're ruining that obtuse angle, and they're going to actually be able to pen you from there. So again, the correct motion is like this, in and out, they shooting and bouncing, you shooting and hitting. And that is side scraping. So I want to show you just a couple more quick shots here before we get into angling. So here I am side scraping. I'm setting it up. You can see kind of back up, look around, peek. That guy gets out of cover. That's not really what I'm looking at. I'm trying to show you the exact angles in the game. So look at my tank icon. See how I'm at a nice corner there? Look at that. That's the right angle there. I'm showing a little bit too much of my front here, but I'm just trying to show you the angles. And then look at the clean, just straight shot down there. They would not hit me in this spot. So that would be a perfect side scrape. Now, going on, I want to talk about angling, because sometimes when there's multiple tanks on a corner, you can't side scrape because you'll get in the way. So here's angling around the corner. So I'm coming around. Right now, I'm completely flat to them. Anybody could pen me there. But look at the angle of my tank and the icon there in the middle. So I'm kind of angled there, even though I know the patent's running away and shooting. Obviously, it's a tier 10 game, which meant, like I mentioned, you'll see a ton of these. But I want to show you this really cool. So up here on the left, there's an E100. He's side scraping. Look, can't even see him. Bow! He nails me. There was zero chance I could ever hit that guy, even if I knew he was there not side scraping. Okay, and so in this clip, I want to show you a little bit more angling as well. So look at, it's crowded here. There's 4 tanks. We're kind of negotiating the corner against each other here. I'm trying to keep a 45 in my front because I'm right in the front, and I've got to be because you're in a Tiger 2. But I'm shooting as I can, just peeking enough to be able to see everybody. My front's out at a 45, so it's not side scraping, right? But it's angling where if they do shoot me, they got to get me good. So we're firing here. We're also negotiating shots. Now, the most important thing I want to show you here is look at my platoon mate right there. He's side scraping behind me, using me as his cover. That's perfect. The person in the front, if I was trying to side scrape, I would ruin everything. So what I'm doing is timing shots with him. He shoots and pops. He pops back. I shoot, pop back. We're just trading shots here. That guy comes in there and makes a great shot as well. I take a nice shot here, I'm backing up, and then my side scraping platoon mate right there is there to take the kill. Boom, it's over. So now, this T20 is like, or IS is like, oh my gosh, these guys know how to side scrape, and he's running for his life. That's what you want. You want to run it like that. Okay, in this last clip, I'm making a flag assault. I'm coming in straight right now, so pow, I get nailed by that Indian, but the Hellcat on the right, I'm in a nice 45 too. So looking at him, he shoots, bounces just like I expect. Pow, he's out. I'm still straight on the Indian. He nails me. But now I'm coming into the base and I'm angling. This T20 comes out of nowhere. So again, I can't side scrape in this situation, but I can absolutely angle. We start doing shot trading. So I'm hitting him, backing up. I'm trying to track him. I tracked him once. I get him again. And now the T20 is hitting into him. So here I am. I'm reloading. There's that long reload. Oh, and he gets away. Another guy comes in here, another red. But that Indian's a problem. Pow, take him out, pass up on the easy shot, and there you have it. That's pretty successful angling overall. We go ahead and finish that guy off. We're up 4-0 and clean up the rest of the guys. So let's go ahead and get into the final clip, which is a full game. Now this game actually, I got caught in a 501 countdown, so there's actually 7 501 players here. But that's okay because I've got the top tier. So fast forwarding a little bit to the first contact, here I am. I got this M10 messing with me over here, and there's a T43 to the left behind that column, even though he's not lit right now. He was lit just a second ago. I'm taking some shots at him. I hit him a couple times. I'm doing a lot of zooming. Sorry about that, but trying to zoom in and get these guys. I got this SU-152 here that's spamming heat at me. These two are just pegging at me. I'm like, I gotta get this SU down. I bounce on him twice. I'm just hitting his gun mantle. He's getting super lucky. I'm like, let me get this darn M10. He keeps backing up. I can't hit him. I can't hit anything. There we go. I got a little bit of the mantle on the side of that 152. That 43 is kind of hiding there, just reloading and taking shots. I'm doing pretty good on my health right now, but you're going to see that's about to change. Oh, the T-43 hits me. And then I'm looking at that 152. Boom. Oh, I get him. But they're pushing over now. The 43 gets me again. I got 4 tanks pushing on me. It's actually me and just one guy here. And this darn T-26 comes over with like impenetrable gun mantle there. So I am backing up and running. I'm like, I've got to take this 43 out. Thankfully, he comes forward. Boom, get him. 43 or the 26 is coming around the corner. He decides to change his mind because now my the cavalry is coming from the right. So that is great. I can take some shots at him. I miss because he's actually angled really well, which is good for him. So I'm like, okay, I got to reposition. I've got a whopping 185 hit points left. So I'm heading left here because these other 2 tanks to the right. So we're actually doing pretty good. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here again. Now I'm going to start dancing with this M10 again. This guy, oh my goodness, he really gives me a run for my money. There's my 0 gun depression, my gun aiming into the space. Thankfully, they bounce off of my turret. And I'm over here. I got these 2 guys here. They're both almost one-shots. The M10's just like, I'm going to chew these guys up. I get no shots. I just take a crazy pot shot through there. I'm like, come on, maybe I'll hit something. He's like got me out. Oh man, I get a hit. I get 12 hit points. RNG, thank you for not letting me die. But I'm stuck here. I switched to APCR because I'm like, if I'm going to hit something, it's going to matter. Taking, looking. I got nothing. I'm hiding behind this. I'm trying to side scrape off the dead tank. He goes around the corner. The SU hits him. Awesome. I'm like, I got a shot. And boom. Finally. Zombie, whatever your name was. Congrats. You really messed me up. And that basically is it. We're up 6-1 now. And I'm like, okay, I got no shots on this guy, but I use my whopping Tiger speed, which downhill, 100% into it, you can hit 40. That's amazing. You never see that. Come around the corner. Boom. Got the guy. Still had the APCR on, so I didn't miss the shot. And there you go. There's a full Tiger game. It wasn't really that long. I skipped a couple spots, but you kind of get the point. This thing can take a beating. There is no question. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this gameplay and tactics overview of the Tiger II, aka the Fatcat. Obviously this thing is big and strong, but very slow. You need to angle and side scrape like a champ, so if you don't know how to do those, make sure you brush up on those skills. It's got a good overall gun. You're going to see a lot of tier 10 matches though, so you better know how to pen a tier 10 tank. Don't run it stock unless you absolutely have to, and if you do run it stock, my goodness, please platoon with somebody for your own sake and sanity. And then lastly, it's just not noob friendly. It has a lot of advanced tactics that you need to understand in order to be successful. Special thanks to Bell, Spamalot, and Brundog for tuning with me for these clips. And tankers, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the battlefield. This is o7o7 signing off.